Losing both fathers that raised me in a 5-month time frame was about the worst thing I've ever experienced. My name is John Valentik, and I'm a Penn State graduate. I've lived in Bellefonte for the past 13 years, and I'm an assistant teaching professor in the Department of Kinesiology. And in addition to that, my wife Paige and I own an LLC called Happy Valley Wellness Solutions, where I do at-home personal training, and she does nutrition counseling. Being in kinesiology, being in just health, I like to say health and wellness. I mean, yes, my career, I've done over 11,000 personal training sessions at this point, from when I started to where I am now. So you would think, oh man, that's a lot of working out and that's a lot of counting reps. But what I tell my students is it's a lot of time with people. Anyone can do a challenging workout, but working with someone on a regular basis to help them change their behaviors requires empathy, listening, and for you to have a lot of these tools in practice for yourself. I'm generally not one to hold my feelings in. That was something I kind of got from my dad and my stepdad, actually. They wore their heart on their sleeves. You kind of knew what was going on. And my stepfather, unfortunately, he passed away from cancer in March of 2020. And 5 months later, I lost my dad to suicide in August of 2020. He was my best friend, without question. So I was... a few years prior to losing him is when he started battling with a deeper level of depression. And that's where I did try to intervene as much as possible. And I tried to do what I could in the context that I knew to help my dad, even to the point of trying to talk him into going to see a doctor or a mental health professional. He was unwilling, which is when one of the emotions, I'm surprised I left it out, would be guilt. Of what you may feel when you deal with a loved one who commits suicide, because that was one of the first things I experienced, was just guilt. I felt like I was liable for what happened there. I felt like it was my fault. I was the last person my dad interacted with. I was the one that he interacted with the most outside of one of his close friends. So I felt like if anyone were to prevent that from happening, it would have been me. An individual in the group just shared a perspective of no one with a healthy mind in that moment, whatever that moment was when the suicide happened, would have actually done that. So it's kind of reminding yourself that it was out of my control. I hope other people can realize that as well, because that can be a very tough burden to carry. What could someone who lost both fathers in 5 months have to be grateful for? But if you start to look for things to be grateful for, it's not that hard to find. And for me, it was, I got to spend 30 plus years with not just one dad, but two, that helped shape me, that I went on vacations with, that taught me life lessons, laugh with, cry with, share your stories, share your girlfriend problems, everything and anything. And one of the things I've learned from Evelyn, and that I've learned kind of in my own journey here, is that any emotion you have is completely acceptable, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. So acknowledge that those are emotions there in the moment, but also acknowledge that they're in the moment. They don't have to be who you are.